Today is a big day. Today is a huge day. Today is an important day. Today is the day that Nate Hayden stands up to maybe half the country, maybe more than half the country. As you probably told by the title of this podcast episode, college football is dumb. College football is stupid. College football does not make any sense. And I will expound upon that in just a second. But what I will bring to the table as my first and foremost point of evidence on X, formerly known as Twitter, Ryan Whitledge, he quoted a tweet by Tim Reynolds. Tim Reynolds says this: the Pac-12 has 4 schools. The Big 12 has 16 schools. The Big 10 has 18 schools. And then Ryan Whitledge, his quote tweet was, the biggest takeaway from all of this college football realignment, consolidation nonsense is that the conferences should just stop putting numbers in their names. For a lot of you, Pac-12, Big 12, Big 10, ASUN, American League, different college football conferences, they mean something to you. Either your alma mater is part of them, maybe that you subscribe yourself to a college football team because you live closest to it rather than an actual professional team. Probably people down in the South, they root for more Alabama and Ole Miss and other teams like that rather than the actual Atlanta Falcons or other teams down in the South near South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri, other places like that. You're probably more inclined to root for a college football team rather than a professional sports team because of your location where you live. That's the kind of idea that I'm getting at. And I'm also going to teeter on the line of I understand it, but then again, I don't. People that root for colleges that they did not go to, however, they spend a lot of time alongside, that they spend a long time with because of correlation with their family, or they actually, do live near another professional football team, but it's, they know people at a certain college or something along those lines. So I'm trying to set up a certain argument from the side of which I do not agree to, the ones that I do not adhere to. Now, what I will say for myself is that I'm not a big college football fan. Okay, never have been and probably never will be. I like football. I like basketball. I like collegiate athletics. I enjoy watching those sort of things. I've never turned on a Alabama cross country track meet. I've never done sort of like that. I will, however, turn on an Alabama football or basketball game if it's during football season and there's nothing else on, or it's during March Madness NCAA tournament. What I will say, and I'm probably going to say that a lot, what I will say, because I'm trying to dip my toe in the water without getting angry, because I've had a lot of conversations about college football. Now, what I will say is that I do understand that how people can assimilate and correlate a professional football team to a really, really big college football program. Where I come from is that I don't care about college football programs because where I grew up, there wasn't a lot of big college football programs. I didn't have an Ole Miss. I didn't have an Arkansas. I didn't have an Alabama. I didn't have a UCLA. I didn't have a Baylor. I had a Liberty. I had a Liberty University collegiate football affiliation. My dad and I would always go to the football games growing up when I was in middle school and early high school. And then eventually that led to my decision to actually going to Liberty University. And that's what's going to probably hinge on this whole conversation. Hopefully I don't go too long, but I really do want this to be more of a conversational idea. And I wish I had somebody that was actually thinking not the same as me across the table, because I really want to dissect this in the most reasonable and understandable way possible. I think this is an issue. I think how people celebrate college football is an issue. Okay, it's an issue. It's a first world issue. Okay, I went to Liberty University, and I will always cheer for their college football, college basketball, collegiate athletic sports. It doesn't matter to me. I'll root for Liberty. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Because I went there. I went there. I went there as a student. Okay? The closer there are closer colleges to me. Virginia Tech, UVA, VCU, University of Richmond. There are tons of other closer colleges to me, but I don't root for them, even though I'm geographically located closer to them, distance and time-wise, than I am to Lynchburg, Virginia, where Liberty University is located. I root for Liberty University because I went there. What I cannot understand is people who, I'm going to laugh when I say this, who root for colleges that they did not go to, that they did not attend. How do you root for a college that you did not go to? I understand how growing up, watching football, you don't really know like the difference. NFL, college, I don't know, other colleges or whatever, big college football programs. You watch them. They're on Saturdays. Great Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, sort of ideal. Everybody crowds around the TV and watches football. And then on Sundays, you watch professional football. But when you're young, you don't really know the difference. Growing up, you kind of start to understand the difference, that college is more of a team-based thing and professional is more of the personal thing. There's a lot of characters in the NFL. There's a lot of single players who get traded and other things like that. Colleges, because of this, the 3-year rule, where you have to stay at a college, you have to be in college until you can get drafted into the NFL. It allows for players to be in the college level at a certain college for those 3 years, for people to get more connected to that player. And the more connected you get to a player, the more connected you get to that team. Okay? I understand all of that, and I understand growing up. You're watching a college football team because you're near them on TV, or like, hey, a college football game is on and it's about an hour and a half away. Let's go, because there's nothing else closer and there's nothing else to do on a Saturday afternoon. I understand those things. But when it comes time to decide where you're going to go to college, when it comes time to decide where you're going to spend a massive portion of your life, when it comes time, I should say, to choose who you give thousands of dollars to, I think that the last, or maybe the first thing that you decide is that, okay, I give this amount of money to this college, and I'm going to follow that college's football and basketball team. That's my sort of idea. And if you do not do that, I cannot understand that, and that's the issue. I can't keep being serious with this, or fake being serious. I don't understand. How can you root for a college football team for that you didn't go to? Okay, college is not the same as professionals. Okay, professional, there's 32 teams. You pick one that's probably closest to you, or that you have the same, geographical or location, or you have some ties to it due to family or whatever. These rules do not apply to college. Whatever college you went to is the one that you should support. Why go out of your way to buy merch, buy tickets, use your time at a college football game for a college that you did not attend? I will give you several ideas. Okay, let's do it. My girlfriend Lauren, she grew up in Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio. The closest sort of idea of a college football team was Ohio State, down in Columbus, about 3 hours away from Youngstown. The biggest college program of football around. Definitely up in the northwest, north, south, east, west, northeast, Midwest, whatever sort of area of the United States. Her and her family. Let's support them. I think her parents also went there, or at least were a part of the area around Columbus and Ohio State. Okay. They also have a Youngstown State College. Okay. She grew up in Youngstown. Her parents actually did go to Youngstown State, and spent thousands of dollars for tuition at Youngstown State. And every year, Ohio State and Youngstown State play each other. Okay, they play each other in football. And you know what team Lauren roots for? Is Ohio State. Why? Why? Is it because they're good? Is it because that you're more familiar with them? That might be true. And what if Youngstown State was good? Would you just switch teams? Would you go for? I can't wrap my head around. Neither team did she even go. Neither college did she go to. She went to Liberty University along with me, and she in Liberty is like the second or third college that she would support in college football. I don't understand that. You have to understand. I'm going to move this microphone. You have to understand that this does not make sense, people. If you support a college football team for a college that you did not attend, you need to be on medication. You need to have your brain checked. Why in the world? These college players, they are not professionals. These college players are your age. They are your age. You're just rooting it along with it. It's basically the same thing with like high school. You went to that high school, but I went to Patrick Henry High School. It would be weird if I went to a Deep Run game, the Deep Run playing Patrick Henry, and I was rooting for Deep Run. I don't go to Deep Run. I didn't go to Deep Run. I knew people there. I had a lot of like familial and friendly ties to Deep Run, sure. But you know what place I spent the most time at? You know what places? You know what place that I took tests at, took quizzes at, presented projects, talked with friends at? Was Patrick Henry High School. I went to Patrick Henry High School. That means I support Patrick Henry Athletics. I went to Liberty University. So that means I support Liberty University Athletics. I do not support VCU, University of Richmond, UVA, Virginia Tech sports like I do Liberty. I never have, and I never will, because I didn't go to those colleges. I didn't go there. That's not me. That was not my life. I didn't go to those colleges. That wasn't me. Why support a college team that you did not go to? College is completely different than professionals. College is completely different from the NFL. You can follow whatever team. I think there's different rules. Professional sports, professional football, the NFL is simply for entertainment. Simply for entertainment. That's it. That's the only reason why it's created. Okay? So, because of the rules, because of the reason why it's created, allows the viewer to be able to be entertained in any way, shape, and form that they feel possible. And if that form of entertainment comes in the form of choosing a random team across the country, let them have it. Let it be. If I, from Virginia, want to support the Los Angeles Chargers, what's stopping me? Nothing. Nothing is stopping me. Nothing should stop me, because the Los Angeles Chargers was a football team created to entertain me. The only reason why they have the Washington Commanders and the Carolina Panthers and the Baltimore Ravens on this side of the country is for people like me to not support and give my money to the Los Angeles Chargers, was rather give the money to the Panthers, Commanders, or Ravens or other teams that I would like to participate myself in. I support the Baltimore Ravens because I am from Baltimore, Maryland. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, and then we moved to Virginia. If anything, sure, because location-wise, I would be a Commanders fan, but because I have those familial ties to Baltimore, that's why I root for Baltimore sports. Okay? Now, I will apply these same rules to the Houston Rockets. I'm a Houston Rockets fan because in middle school and early high school, I was a big James Harden fan. James Harden left, and I had a decision to make. Was I'm going to follow James Harden or am I going to follow the Rockets? I decided I want to follow the Rockets because I looked up around my room. I had a lot of Houston Rockets logos and gear and different apparels and merchandise and other things like that. I didn't have all of the James Harden fatheads or posters or whatever. I had Houston Rockets stuff. So it's like, I should probably follow this team that I have been following for a couple years now. I'm going to keep following the Houston Rockets. I have never been to Houston. I've never been to Texas. Okay? So my ideas, my thoughts are like, well, why does it even matter? Like what like that, because that doesn't even make sense. I'm going against my own rules. I had never been to Texas. I've never been to a Houston Rockets game. It doesn't make sense. What I will say is that the NBA is the same thing as the NFL. These teams have been created to entertain you. So they have the same rules. You can apply yourself to any team because they were meant to entertain you. Whatever team entertains you the most, you have full right and capability and availability to follow that team because of the rules that are already set up. Those same rules do not apply to college sports. These innate rules do not apply to college sports. Would you like to know why? Because colleges and universities are not created to entertain. They're created to educate and get you further in life and get you set up for your career path. Okay? Now, that's true. Now, there are college sports for collegiate athletes to participate themselves in, and if those college sports lead them to professional levels, then absolutely, that's what it's created for. It's to get them ready for the next level. However, college sports, college football, college basketball was not created to entertain. They are not an entertainment business. These are sports who are made out of colleges to support, grow, and then let these athletes perform in the highest possible level on the collegiate level. As soon as you say collegiate, that means, educate, not entertain. When you say NFL, I think entertain, not educate. Okay? If I'm at a school to be educated, the last thing I'm looking for is a football team to follow, right? That kind of idea that you go to Liberty University, but you support Ohio State, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It can't make sense. You're giving thousands of dollars. You're giving 4 years of your life. You're giving all this time, money, and effort to one university. But when it comes to college sports, you're just going to turn around and say, "Oh, I like Ohio State, though. Oh, I like Alabama. Oh, I like Ole Miss. Oh, I like Arkansas. I like UCLA." It doesn't make sense. People, you have to understand, this kind of thing doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I've stepped foot on Virginia Tech campus. I haven't been to their football games. I didn't go to Virginia Tech. I live an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 from Virginia Tech. Do I have the same ideas? Do I have the same availability to support Virginia Tech as much as I do for Liberty? No, absolutely not. The answer to that question is no. So why would I support Virginia Tech? There's no reason why I would. There's no reason why people like in my high school are growing up and just Alabama fans. Alabama. They're just Alabama fans. And you ask them why. It's like, oh, come on. Yeah, they're good. Okay. All right. And comparatively speaking, Alabama's great. Absolutely. Virginia Tech is obviously not as good as Alabama, but Virginia Tech, for being a Virginian sport, for being a Virginian college in football, they're still good. They're not on Alabama level, but they're still relatively good. What's stopping you from liking Virginia Tech? You can't just pick and choose colleges to support because you didn't go to that college. You've never even stepped foot on that campus. Why support that college? Why? This is a college. You're just entertaining. These colleges are to educate, not entertain. They're not supposed to entertain. They're just trying to get to people the next level. It's like me going to Boston College and just rooting on the law program at Boston College. Yeah, go Boston College law program. Woo, let's go. There's no difference between the law program than the esports. Then there is the aquatic team at Boston College. There's no difference between all of those and the Boston College football team. There's no difference. It's just one gets more eyes than the other. One gets more entertainment than the other. More people entertain the idea of college football than they do esports. More people entertain the idea of college football than they do the Boston College law degree participators. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I am a Liberty University supporter because I went there. I am not in Alabama. I'm not in Ohio State. I'm not a Virginia Tech. I'm not a UVA. I'm not a VCU. I'm not a U of R supporter because I did not go to those colleges. Now, let's just say I went to Liberty University, but it got wiped off the face of the earth. What team am I going to support next? Probably the teams that are closest to me, that have the closest, probably geographical and familial and friendly ties to. VCU, U of R, Virginia Tech, and UVA. Okay? If Liberty's not playing on a Saturday, but Virginia Tech is, I'm going to support them. If UVA is playing, but Liberty is not, I'm going to support them. It's this constant push and pull of why do you support Ohio State? Oh, because I lived in that state. Oh, so I can just choose whatever college, I didn't go to that college, but I can just choose them to support. Yeah. But why? Because it's a college sport. Yeah, but I didn't go to that college though, right? It doesn't matter if you didn't go to that college. Well, why not? Why does it not matter that I didn't go to that college? Because it's sports. It's just supposed to entertain you. No. College sports are to educate and grow collegiate athletes. They are not made to entertain you. NFL is. The professional sports teams are. They're made to entertain you. I might be a jerk when it comes to this sort of thing. I might be sounding like a jerk in all of this, but I don't get it. I don't get it. If you support a college football team, a college basketball team, more than the college football or basketball team that you went to, you have serious issues and you need to have them checked out and you need to go to a therapist. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. And I'll be ending this podcast episode now. And if you do not agree with me, then you are not somebody that I want to be entertained with or be seen with. Bye.